Yeah. What's going on? Another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. I'm starting a little later, but that's because I got stuff to do, man. This ain't my only job. But yo, we here, man. Those of you who waited, congratulations, because good things come to those who wait. And I am definitely a good thing. You know what? It's not about me. It's about y'all. Victory Talk is a good thing. We are Victory Talk. Let's start the show. Yeah. That Victory Talk. I don't know about y'all, but this shit gets me super hyped. Welcome to episode 151 of that Victory Talk podcast. I am your host, Big Brandon Carter, the king of ketosis, BBC, Gymnasium Jesus, or Jesus de Gimnasio para mi gente. And yo, man, we got a lot we want to cover today. Today, man, we're gonna talk about some shit. I'm gonna talk about, some of the best money-making books that you can read. I'm gonna give you a quick Big Brandon Carter summary of these motherfuckers, right? And then I'm also we're gonna talk about some new ways to use AI. Before that, we're gonna start off with some new ways to use AI. But then I got my homie Greg, aka Young Candlestick, and he's gonna break down one of my favorite money-making strategies that we're gonna teach to y'all is making money with leap options. We're gonna cover that too, man. This is gonna be a fantastic episode. I can feel it already. Before we even get into it, I gotta introduce the squad. We got the best producer in the game, Nima, out here. Let's go.
Let's go. Super excited.
Straight out of 151. Come on, man. Straight out of Iran. That's Asian. A lot of people don't know Nima is Asian. Because
I didn't know that myself.
You didn't know that it was on. You didn't know what continent your home country's on. You learn some. Everybody learns on a Victory Talk podcast. That's what it's all about. Learning.
Words.
It's about learning. You know what I'm saying? We got Minovia. You know what I'm saying? Reading the Superchats. Anybody come through hating, talking shit, she gonna kick him out. She gonna kick him out forever. They'll never be able to comment again, man. Ain't good, man. We only listen. You come through hating, you ain't hating on me, man. You hating on yourself, man. You can't be out here spreading negativity and expect positive shit to happen in your life, man. How God gonna bless a motherfucker who go around the internet hating on strangers, man? Can't happen. It can't happen. There's like God won't bless you if you're doing that. God, Allah, Yahweh, Poseidon, Zeus, whatever you believe in, man. Motherfuckers ain't gonna bless you if you out here spreading negativity, man. We gotta stay positive, optimistic. You feel me? That's real talk. All right. Before we get into it, we gotta have a word from our sponsor. And this episode of the Victory Talk podcast is we got two sponsors. One is the newsletter Big Money Methods. Bam. First link in the description. Click that link. Put your email in here. Subscribe. And twice a week, you're going to get email articles on methods to help you make big money. Written by the homie Scene. All right. He works for us, man. Yo, he wrote some shit about cybersecurity. You ain't even know that shit was a threat. Right. Then, you know what I'm saying? My man Chris, he talking about, oh, shit. Ancient motherfucking training. In case you want to be on your ninja. For all my ninjas. Real ninja. He talking about some real ninja shit over here. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? And then we got me. I'm talking about how to escape the bystander effect that's taking control of your decision. I'm talking about some mental game shit. Come on, man. We got hundreds of articles here, man. You're gonna get all the new ones. Make sure you subscribe to that newsletter. We are also sponsored by, it's a new product. It's going to be out. This product, we've been working on it for years, Nima and I. All right. For years. And this is probably going to be you know, Elon Musk trying to make motherfucking robots, cars that drive themselves. Cool, but that's not what we need. Wasn't nobody asking for robots, unless he makes the ones you could fuck. But them robots didn't look fuckable to me. So I decided to make a fucking useful product that'll be out this Christmas. It's called Thot Repellent. It's the easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away. You know what I'm talking about? Listen, it's genetically engineered to only affect the DNA of sluts, hoes, hoochies, skeezers, hood rats, Jezebels, and stank hoes. Right? Because those are a little worse than regular hoes. It's like they're advanced. You know what I'm saying? You can be a hoe and you can be stank, but a stank hoe, that's like, I don't know, man. It's something you don't want that in your life, right? So, but good women, it won't affect them. They'll just be like, what is that? What's that fragrance? What's that aroma? How you smell so good? And you'll be like, no, baby, this just Thot Repellent. Baby, that's just Thot Repellent. You know, but the fucking hoes, they'll smell that shit like, what? They won't be able to come near you. They won't be able to penetrate a barrier. It'll be like a force field. You know what I'm saying? This is advanced technology. And you're going to need it, especially when you start really balling, shot calling. Like regular dudes be like, how do I get girls? But like if you once you built your money, muscle, and mindset up, man, girls are going to be on the internet trying to figure out how to get you. And some of those hoes are going to be thoughts. You got to keep them away from you. Especially if you join our Discord. Our Discord is free. I got free articles in there. I'm in there every day. I go live in there answering questions. Like here, if you want me to ask a question, you got to leave a super chat. I won't even see it unless it's a super chat. Like I'll have no idea you left a comment, but I see all the super chats, right? But when I go live on Discord, I stay on there 2 hours. I just do Q&As, man, helping people accomplish their goals, right? We got one coming up. But anyway, Thot Repellent. Once you join our Discord, I got free courses in there. Then you start using that knowledge to build your money, muscle, mindset. Bitches gonna be all over you, man. You're gonna need this shit just to go outside. Imagine you a fucking super ripped multi-millionaire like me, and then you go to the gym in public, man. You know how you gonna keep the hoes off you? Thot Repellent. You know what I'm saying? Imagine. It's your friend's birthday and y'all go to a nightclub, but you the fucking rich ass motherfucker in there, all ripped and shit. How you gonna keep all the hoes off you? Thot Repellent. Imagine you at somebody's bar mitzvah, trying to celebrate. You got invited to the bar mitzvah, and all the motherfucking hoes come after you, man. What you gonna do? How you gonna keep them off you? Thot Repellent. Imagine you at your homie's funeral, right? And all these bitches is trying to cry on your shoulder. How you gonna keep them off you? Thot Repellent. Imagine you at the amusement park with your cousins. How you gonna keep all the hoes at you? Thot Repellent. You feel me? This is what you're gonna need once you really start balling, because you have different problems. Not how do I get girls? I'm like, yo, how do I get all these girls off me? No más chicas, por favor, para mí. No más chicas, right? Thot Repellent, right? Easy to apply spray to keep the hoes away, but we need your help. We crowdfunding this, all right? It will be it's only going to be available if we get enough super chats to pay for the production. Because I can't do this all myself. I'm one man. I'm just one man on a mission. But if we galvanize together, then we can all save the men of the world from these thoughts. All right. All your super chats go towards this. And I think some heroes have already fucked around and contributed to the fund, man. I think they need to be acknowledged. Let's go.
We have Players Lounge.
Okay.
Your BBC. My parents keep telling me money isn't everything and I need to spend more time with family. But most of my family aren't on the same time as me. What should I do?
Okay, so I hear a lot of people say money's not everything. Money's not everything. But who's out here saying that money is everything? Right? Of course, money's not everything, dummy. You know, money's not even the most important thing in the world. You know what the most important thing in the world is? Oxygen, right? Oxygen. Think about it. It's the only thing in the world that you cannot survive without for more than a few minutes, right? You can survive without your family for a few minutes, right? For a few hours, days. You can survive without money for days, right? You can survive without food for days. You can survive without water for like 2 days, right? But oxygen, you can only survive without oxygen for a few minutes until you die. What's the record? Let me hold on. That's what ChatGPT is for. Hey, look here. How long can you survive without oxygen?
Without oxygen, the human brain can start to suffer damage within about 4 to 6 minutes. Survival without permanent damage becomes unlikely after around 10 minutes. Although this can...
That's enough, bitch. All right. So you're going to die within a few minutes. All right. Oxygen is the most important thing. But the reason we don't fucking talk about oxygen all the time is because we have it in abundance. We don't worry about it. However, you started to suffocate for a few moments, oxygen would be the only thing you could think about. You wouldn't be thinking about family, money, nothing else. Money is the same way. Money is like oxygen. All right. You need to have enough of it so you don't have to think about it. You get what I'm saying? You need to have enough money so you don't have to think about it. The same way we have enough oxygen that we don't have to think about it. You get what I'm saying? But unlike oxygen, money you can run out of. You're not going to run out of oxygen. It's just always here. So you got to keep getting more money, and you got to make sure you have it in abundance. And money's not everything. There's way more things. There's other things going on, right? However, like your parents tell you need to spend more time with family, man. But you a fucking. When people say they need to spend more time with family, I get it if you have kids, but like you guys in your 20s talking about you need to spend more time with family. What are you talking about? Spending time with your mommy? Is that what you're talking about? You spend too much time with your mommy already, man. That's why you out here fucking talking stupid. That's why you out here talking like a bitch. You just spend so much time with your mommy, man. You should go out and be something, And the truth is, like, money makes your decisions, right? You would be watching this on a better device in a better house if you had enough money. You don't have the best house you can afford. You don't have the best house available. You have the best house you can afford. You would do more things for your family or your community if you had more money. You know what I'm saying? You would be living in a better crib. You'd be driving a better car. A lot of y'all would have better spouses if you had more money, right? But you get what you can afford. I don't mean like buying girls. I mean like if you fucking poor, man, you got to find a girl who's willing to fucking marry a poor guy, right? And in my experience, those are the chicks who only had, that's their only option. Or maybe they see some potential in you. But whatever, man, it's like money ain't the most important thing, but let's not demonize and act like it's not important, because it definitely is. When there's a natural disaster, man, when there's natural disaster somewhere in the world, what do they ask you for? They don't ask you to go, listen, man, we just had an earthquake over here. We need all of y'all to spend more time with your families. Nah, man. They tell you they say, yo, give us some of that money, man. We need money. We need money. When you fucking go to church, when they passed around the offering basket, they don't say, hey, man, don't put no money in here. Promise me that you'll spend more time with your family. Nah, man. They asking for that fucking money. You get what I'm saying? When there's a disease or something going on, or there's something happening in the world, or when people are in trouble, they don't ask you to spend more time with your family to help. They ask for more fucking money. So let's not pretend like the shit's not important. Right. And you need to tell your parents. The studies show that people with more money actually live longer. Right. Middle class people statistically live significantly longer than poor people. And people in the 1% live a whole decade longer statistically than the middle class people. right? And not only do they live longer, they have longer, healthier lives. There's tons of studies to back this up. You know, I went over them on this. I went over them not ad nauseum on this podcast, right? There's no version of reality where more money would be less advantageous. It's not everything, but it's cool. I mean, it's important. Let's not act like it's not important. You know what I'm saying? Let's not act like it's not important. Let's not fuck this up. You know? But now, if you want to spend more time with your family, though, that's cool. Just put it in your calendar, right? There's 168 hours in every week, right? Let's say you slept 8 hours a night, right? Because we can't neglect our health. You sleep 8 hours a night. That's a total of 56 hours, right? So that leaves us with 112 hours each week, right? If you worked 80 hours, let's say you worked 80 hours, you're working at capacity to get this money. That's going to leave you with about 32 hours left. Yeah, 32 hours left, right? I mean, how much time do you need with your family? You know, how much time do you fucking need with these people? You get what I'm saying? And, you know, a lot of times people say, man, what about eating and cleaning and doing? Well, you know who else likes to eat? In my experience, family members enjoy eating food as well. So y'all can eat with them. You know what I'm saying? What about going to the grocery store? Man, yeah, let's all go do these chores and run these errands together. What are y'all spending time doing? Watching TV? Nah, man, we need to spend time getting shit done. Hey, man, we got to get groceries. Let's all go to the grocery store as a family. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we got to clean up, man. Hey, let's make this fun and clean up together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, do that shit together, man. What the fuck? You know? And do you need more than 30 fucking 2 hours a week? How much time do you need with them? You know? Put it in your calendar. If you got a girlfriend now if you got kids, maybe you got some other shit going on, you know, I get it. But if you ain't got kids, man, and you just talking about spending time with your mommy and daddy and you an adult, yo, shut your bitch ass up. Yo, shut the fuck up, man. You know what I'm saying? Go get to work, brother. Make some of yourself. If you got your own family, then it's a little different. You know? I can't really listen, brother. I stopped spending time. I stopped listening to my mom for advice a long time ago, right? Just because, you know, she's cool. I love her very much, but like I don't be asking her for advice. I'm an adult, you know. I give the advice out here. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you gotta make your own decisions, brother. If you're a kid, I don't at the same time when it comes to listening to parents, I got sent away to military school when I was 14 because I got in trouble and I haven't lived with my parents since. So I might not be the best person to give advice on motherfucking parent, being a parent, but I have a son. He's dope. And I'm like, you can still hustle. I mean, I've been working 80 hours a week for like almost 20 years in a row. And I love it. If you love what you do, it's fine, man. Don't let these motherfuckers tell you that loving what you do or that loving what you do is a disease. Some people might be like, oh, I don't want to work that hard. I got to enjoy life. Oh man, I didn't tell you to work at something you didn't enjoy, dumbass. Right? You can pick whatever you want. You can be whatever you want, man. Right? For me, I love helping people accomplish their fitness goals. Right? And I was fortunate enough to put myself in a position. Not fortunate. I put myself in a position where that was my career. And because I love it, it don't feel like I'm working 80 hours a week. But even when I worked fucking regular ass jobs, you know, I worked for moving companies. I've worked security, but I had a bigger goal in mind. I wasn't working to survival, right? If you're working towards it with a goal, then you can, okay, you know, I'm doing this now, but this is a stepping stone to my next level, right? Then you can enjoy it because, you know, some of us enjoy life by seeing what we're made of, right? Recreation is not the only way to enjoy life, right? Some of us enjoy life by pushing ourselves, seeing how far we can push on ourselves, seeing how much of our potential we can actually bring to the surface. If you only enjoy life with recreational activities, then that makes me sad, right? Because then you live that lifestyle where it's like, man, another case of the moon days. Or thank God it's Friday. I'm like, yo, I don't even be knowing what day it is sometimes. I know the date, right? But like sometimes, oh shit, today's Friday. All right. Today's Saturday. Okay. I'm not out here waiting for the weekend. I enjoy life every day because I learned to enjoy pushing myself and seeing what I'm made of and fulfilling my potential. If you can learn to do that, man, then man, who tells you? Don't let nobody tell you can't. Don't let nobody tell you it's wrong to follow your dreams, even if it's your parents. Don't let nobody tell you that. If they're trying to tell you that, man, yo, fuck what they talking about. It's okay to ignore them. You know what I'm saying? I ignore people all the time, right? Don't let nobody tell you it's wrong to follow your dreams. You know, if you want to get money and you willing to put in the work, then I applaud you. There was a time where men who worked super hard to accomplish their goals for themselves and their families were praised, right? But I guess all this work-life balance shit, the world got super soft, and everybody they think that motherfucking life's a fucking playground, you know. But when the shit hits the fan, you know, the people who built up enough resources are the ones who are going to be able to support everybody, and the people who didn't are going to be out here fucking crying and complaining. You just got to decide which side of that coin you want to be on, right? It's a recession every 10 years on average. We're about due for another big one. In fact, we're overdue, right? So when that happens, what kind of circumstances you want to be in, you know? Right? It's not, everything ain't about right now. It's about the future too. Hey, again, like I said before, you got to. It's best if you can find something that you enjoy. I enjoyed helping people accomplish their fitness goals with personal training. Then I started my online training business. If you want to learn how to start your online training business, I got a free ebook called The 10 Commandments of Online Training. The link is in the description. All right. What else we got?
We have ketosis makes the hose drop. King Keto. Do you think without the hardships you experienced earlier in your life, would you have cultivated the same drive and ambition you do now?
I'm not sure. You know, the truth is I'm not sure because most people live in this purgatory where things aren't bad enough for them to want to change, but they're not in a bad enough. Okay, they're not in a bad enough. They stay where they are because they don't want it bad enough to do something different, you know? And their situation is not bad enough to force them to change, right? So sometimes I see people when they say I'm lazy, I'm not motivated. I'm like, oh man, you know, if you had like a gun in your head or some shit, you get motivated, right? You know, super, super quick. So sometimes you need like a lot of pain to push you. And definitely when my father, you know, committed suicide during the recession, I don't think y'all know how bad the recession was, right? Because that shit really pushed me, like both those circumstances colliding. Because I see people complaining about fucking kids in their 20s or people in their 20s or 30s complaining about the economy now. It's like, oh, y'all wasn't around or don't remember 08 or 09, right? The economy is fucking amazing compared to then, right? Unemployment is the lowest it's been in the last 50 years right now. During 08, after my father blew his brains out, we had record unemployment. There was people with goddamn master's degrees working at Starbucks. It's real shit. Go look it up. You know what I'm saying? Go remember that. Fucking Ford Motors, and General Motors was about to go out of business. And the General Motors was going out of business and the government had to come and save them. All the banks were about to go out of business. That's where the money is, bro. The banks were going to go out of business and the government had to come in and bail them out. This was happening on a global scale, not just in America. But now we got record unemployment. Motherfucking, the stock market is hitting all-time highs. It was crashing back then, literally crashing. They had to stop trading and shit. It was crashing so much, right? Fucking the CPI report just came out and inflation's only at like 2% and some change. Like the economy is amazing compared to 08. It's like, oh, y'all don't have a reference. Damn, that's fucked up. Y'all don't have it. Y'all don't know how bad shit can get. So you complain about little shit. But y'all, or they make up shit to complain about. You know what I'm saying? But y'all don't know how bad it can get, you know. So when it got really bad, it kind of put me in this spot where it's like, oh, fuck, my back was against the wall, and it was either, hey, try to make this work or fucking suicide. And had I not, and I definitely thought about both options, but had I not seen what suicide did to the family, I might have like considered that a little bit more, you know. It would have been a more viable option for me. So yeah, I think the hardships, and then growing up in Chicago, seeing that shit, dead homies and shit, you know, your friends getting killed, murdered, sent to prison. Yeah, I think all that compounded, and it's like maybe it kind of put me in a position where like my back was against the wall and I had to fight. So yeah, I mean, that's the beauty is like if you're going through something difficult, like use that as fuel to take you to the next level. You need that, because without that, you're not gonna push. It's difficult to push yourself. All right. What else? What else we got? Yeah, somebody asked, "Is this live?" Yeah, man, it's super live, homie. It's motherfucking. It is exactly. It's 7:57 Eastern Standard Time, October 17th, in the year of our Lord. What else we got?
We have Dawson, your BBC.
Mhm.
I want to start a curb address painting biz. I told my mom and she told me some limiting beliefs. Can you give some words of encouragement?
Yo, I don't know shit about that business. It sounds like I don't know. I don't know, Dawson. I don't know shit about that business. But as far as encouragement, like I would just tell you, never know until you give it a real shot, right? You never know what's right. Don't let nobody tell you can't do nothing, man. You know, it's better to find out. You know what I'm saying? It's better, like, find out. She might be right, but she might be wrong. What if she's wrong? You know, if you don't go for it, how will you know? You don't want to sit around wondering what if, you know. I mean, I don't know about that business though, to be honest with you. All right.
You have Clever 12. All men pay, face attraction, and money equals girls.
All right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody says all men pay. I mean, yeah, you gotta, no matter what, every man's paying. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay. You know what I'm saying? Unless you, in some way, even if it's just time, it's paying. You know what I'm saying? All right. I had some AI shit I wanted to show y'all, but instead I'm gonna bring in the homie Greg with the market update, but market recap. I don't know if we really recap. I think we're just gonna teach y'all about leap options. Let's get into it. Yo, Young Candlestick, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
I'm
we doing
excited for today's presentation.
We're doing something different today, y'all. So instead of going over the market, we're gonna show y'all one of our favorite money making strategies. These is leap options, and we're not gonna sell y'all nothing. There's no fucking course to buy. This is going to be a free course on leap options and how to make money on them. All right, let's get into it.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm super excited because we're going to be talking actually about buying options. See, in the past, we've talked about selling options, and that's a great strategy. But this is, I think, the best way to buy options in the stock market.
Yeah.
Look at this, dude. This is going to be you, okay?
Yeah.
That's going to be all of you guys. So this is how the presentation is going to go.
All right.
Before we get started, I really want to warn you guys, options trading is extremely risky. It is not for everybody. Trading options and trading stocks, you know, it's not for the faint of heart. None of this is financial advice. None of this is a recommendation to buy or sell any security. This is for educational purposes only. Okay?
Yeah. Let's do it.
Now, you guys might be asking yourself, why should I listen to this nerd who sounds like Mickey Mouse? Well, first of all, I've actually been trading options for about 8 years. You know, back in the day, it used to cost $20 just to buy an option contract. I'm glad that it's only about 50 cents to $1 now. I'm also a certified options trader by TD Ameritrade. They're now acquired by Schwab, but you had to go through rigorous courses, rigorous tests to get that certification.
Mhm.
I'm also a CMT charter holder. So what does that mean? A CMT means I'm a chartered market technician. And that just means I'm a professional in the practices of technical analysis. So that's
Mhm.
forecasting stock prices. I'm a professional in risk management. So don't lose all your goddamn money. And then also
Yeah.
I'm a professional in asset allocation. Okay. So
Okay.
where to put baskets of money. Okay.
Mhm.
So let's get into it. We're going to be talking about leap options today. So what are leap options? Well, options are basically just the right to buy or sell any asset class. And we're going to get into it and we're going to explain leap options as we go throughout this presentation. So take some notes, okay?
Mhm.
Leaps are generally long-term options. So options have an expiration date towards them. So you can have short-dated options. Those are much more risky. Think of like the lotto tickets or,
Nah, man.
generally,
Buff.
yeah, gamblers tend to really get into options when it's short-dated options. But
Mhm.
this is longer term. So it's a lot more peaceful. It's a great way to get involved into the market. But when we
Mhm.
talk about leap options, it's generally 1 to 3 years away. And
Okay.
so that's really, really important. And actually, I want to just throughout the presentation, I can show some Robinhood options because
Yeah.
Robinhood shows it really nicely.
I really like it in Robinhood. That's my even sometimes even when I buy like leap options or any options in a different brokerage, I'll fuck around and look at it in Robinhood first because their UI is just super dope.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice presentation on Robinhood.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
basically, long story short, you want to buy a leap call. So think call if you think the stock is going to go up a lot. You can buy a leap put if you think a stock is going to go down a lot. We're mostly going to focus on leap calls today, but I'll show you an example of a leap put. Okay.
All right.
It's not as fast as day trading. Day trading's super risky. It has a higher failure rate. But if you are successful in day trading, you make a crap ton of money. But it's not as slow as swing trading either. It's not as slow as investing, but it's a little bit more. It's a bit longer term than
What are the advantages of leap options versus just buying the stock?
Yeah, so I'll get into that, and that's actually going to be
Okay.
one of the next slides. A big thing is cost. A big thing is what you expect the stock to actually do. So, like, what does LEAP actually mean? It means long-term equity anticipation securities. Basically, you're saying, I think the stock is going to go up a lot over the next 1 to 3 years or whatever your time horizon is. Okay. So my biggest LEAP call wins are actually on Disney back in 2019. I had LEAP call options. And because I had those LEAP call options, I had enough time to go through a bunch of positive news catalysts. So and during that time, that's when actually Disney Plus was announced. And when Disney Plus was announced, Disney just skyrocketed the hell up. Like it just went straight up. I was able to turn $300 into $3,000. So
Hey, that's what's up.
yeah. So you have those types of opportunities when you get into LEAP options. Okay. So Disney, Tesla, that's that last chart that I was showing you on the slide earlier. During C19, when the market took a nice dip, you can buy LEAP call options if you think you're at a low of significance. If you think the stock market's going to go up for a long period of time, you can buy a LEAP call option on a broad-based ETF, a safer investment vehicle.
And you spent less money. You made a higher return than if you would have just bought shares.
Exactly. If I were to just buy Disney shares, I would have made 20%. Okay, that's cool. But since I bought the LEAP call options, I was able to make 1,000%.
That's the big thing with leap call options. You can get a higher return.
I completely agree. It's especially when you get it right within that time frame, and the stock just goes straight up. So I had call options on Nvidia. That was really awesome because that helped really fund a big portion of my account. So this is what you can do. What's up?
How long can they be out? Is 3 years the max?
Yeah, usually 3 years is the max on a LEAP call option. And we'll go into some examples. So Brandon was alluding to this earlier. He's on top of it. The biggest benefit of a LEAP call option is it's much lower cost. So look at this guy. He's saving his money right over here. You only need to spend just a fraction of what you would need to actually buy the stock. Generally, it usually only costs like 1/10 the price, and you actually get to control about 100 shares. Now, I'm not going to get super nerdy and talk about Delta and stuff like that, but an example of this would be, okay, Ford stock. You could buy 100 shares of Ford at $12 a share. 100 times 12, that's a $1,200 investment. Cool. Or you could just buy the Ford 12 call option, and that'll only cost you $100. What's cool about that is that's the most you can lose is $100.
Yeah.
You can, if Ford goes bankrupt and you bought 100 shares of the stock, you could lose $1,200. But if you bought,
would you say it's less risky for that reason?
It's less risky for that reason. There are benefits and drawbacks, though. So I'll get into that when I get into the drawbacks.
Okay.
So obviously, it's more cost effective. Leap calls are not as risky as buying short dated options. So it'll have less volatility. It's much more peaceful. It's great for those that have full-time jobs. They don't want to trade the market in and out each and every day. They're not trying to hop in, hop out. You can just buy a leap call option, check back in a few months, a few years, and boom, that's it. What's really cool about leap options too, though, is since you're spending less money, you can technically have less risk in the stock. You can only lose the amount that you put into the leap option. Okay, so this is a limited loss strategy, not an unlimited loss strategy. Okay,
limited loss.
The only unlimited
because your
loss,
options can go to zero. And you can like lose all the money you put in, but you're putting in less money than if you bought the shares.
Exactly. So just to give an idea, when you're buying leap call options, the best case scenario is the stock goes straight up. That's the best case scenario. The stock can even go sideways to slightly higher. That's cool. You'll likely make money. If the stock goes dead sideways, you may actually lose money over time.
So it's got to go
sideways. If the stock goes sideways to slightly lower, you can lose money or all of your investment. Obviously, if the stock just drops or tanks, you're going to lose money. But that was going to happen anyways if you bought the stock anyways.
And you would have lost more.
Yeah, you could have potentially lost more depending on the scenario. You know? So another great benefit of leap options is you have unlimited profit potential when you buy a leap call option. You know, a stock's not going to go to infinity, but it can go damn near close to it. Think of NVIDIA, Bitcoin, you know. Like you can get some serious gains. And all you need is a few really good home runs over your trading and investing career, and they can finance all those shitty trades that lose money. Okay. So I'm going to get into some of the drawbacks of leap options, and then we'll get into some examples. Then we'll tie it all together. Okay, so here are some drawbacks of leap call options. Your investment now is an expiration date. So normally when you just buy stock, you can hold it forever. You know, you can invest for retirement. You can invest for many reasons, and you can just hold that asset forever. You're with a leap option, you have a good amount of time. You know, you can have 1 to 3 years, but you don't have forever. Okay, so it's not perfect for investing for retirement, but you can do it at a lower cost. You can't hold the leap call forever like you can with shares. Here's a big thing that can happen with leap call options. So if you buy a stock can go sideways. You don't lose any money. You don't make any money. You don't lose any money. If the stock goes sideways for too long of a period of time, you will lose money. And this is what's called theta. And theta is just the amount that you pay per day to hold the call option. So for example, let's take that Ford call that cost $100. Theta might be like minus 0.01. You might pay like $1 a day to hold on to that call option. That's cool. But if Ford just goes sideways for multiple years, you're just paying up that dollar every time. And that option loses value.
So theta can be described as the cost of, it's kind of like the cost of holding the option.
Yeah. Think of it like that. Okay. You call negative theta. That's why when we're selling options, not buying options, you're positive theta and you collect that each and every day. But in this case, you're paying per day.
If you don't know what that means, make sure you watch our other presentation on the wheel strategy, because that's all about buying options. Selling
really
options.
Good.
It's all about selling options.
Okay. So another drawback of leap options is if the stock pays a dividend, you don't get paid the dividend by holding the leap call option. So you might miss out on extra cash flow.
You don't get, so that's why I prefer to do this on securities that don't have a dividend.
Yeah,
Unless,
exactly. I occasionally still will do some leap calls on stocks that pay dividends, but only if it meets a certain criteria, which I'll get into in a bit. But yeah, most of the time, if a stock pays dividends, just buy the shares. And if the stock doesn't pay dividends, just think, okay, are there any leap call options that are a good deal? And I'll show you guys what that can look like. One other thing to think about with leap call options is you do need to time it just a little bit better than with just buying shares. So normally when you're investing and you're just buying shares, you can hold it forever. If your time horizon is long enough, your timing doesn't need to be that precise in getting the best price.
Yeah.
With leap calls, you do want to time it up a little bit more. That's just kind of the CMT in me, the technical analysis part of it coming out.
Because it's hard to, it's difficult to dollar cost average into a leap call option, right?
Yeah. You can do it. It's just not ideal. It's better to dollar cost average into equity, into shares.
Yeah, into actual shares.
A hard asset.
Yeah.
So now we want to ask ourselves, hey, how do you get a good deal? What is a good deal? Well, remember, the options market is constantly pricing in the options. The market prices in a certain range that a stock is going to stay within. So it's important to understand that some leap call options may be expensive and some leap call options may be cheap. I like to buy the leap call options that are cheap and have the potential to be expensive. Okay. We can get into this in a bit, but what is the expected range? You can find this on Thinkorswim. You can calculate the at the money straddle, nerd stuff. The biggest question you want to ask yourself is, what do you think? Where do you think the stock can go? Can it go much higher than what your break even is? Okay. If the expected range is low, so the options market is pricing in a tight range, but you expect the stock to break that range, that's why I leap call.
Okay.
That's why I made so much money on Disney call options, because Disney doesn't normally move a lot, but since they announced Disney Plus, Disney moved a lot. And so that's where I got paid. That's where my edge came in.
So it's really important to have good timing with this, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and just know what is a good deal. And this comes with options market experience and technical analysis experience. Okay, so a high expected range means that you just need a bigger move in the stock to profit. Okay, your break even is much higher in that scenario. Okay. So how can you increase your probability of profiting on leap call options? You can use technical analysis. So that's forecasting future prices through chart patterns, indicators, intermarket analysis, cyclicality, you name it. So I'm not going to get super into technical analysis in today's lesson, but you can use breakouts. You can do the monthly time frame. So zoom out, because we're doing leap options instead of short dated options. Okay. You can also use fundamental analysis. I'm not a professional when it comes to fundamental analysis. Those reports are usually written by CFAs, which are chartered financial analysts. So I'm a chartered market technician. So it's kind of like two parallels. You can also have AI help you analyze some balance sheets. You can go on Yahoo Finance and have AI.
You can download balance sheets and upload them into fucking ChatGPT and tell them, hey man, explain this to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Exactly. And you can even have AI like help calculate fair values for you. It's a game changer. Because then when you know what a stock is potentially worth, it kind of gives you like a gauge of where the stock can go over the long run. And that can help you with your decision-making process with leap calls. So once you have a solid fair value estimate and a solid technical setup, now we can check the options chain. So we got the technical setup, we got the stock fundamentally strong or below fair value. Now let's check the options chain. Okay, so this is an example of XLV. This is the healthcare sector. And here's what I did. I was like, oh, well, this sector is in rotation. I'm expecting it to go up a lot. I could just go ahead and buy shares. I could buy 100 shares of XLV and spend $13,000. That's cool. Or I can go out and I can buy a leap call option for $68 or 0.68. $68. That's all I spent instead of 13 grand. And guess what? I was able to make $205. I was able to make a 300% return.
In how long?
This was about like 4 months.
Right. So just because you buy the option, you can sell the option at any time. You don't have to hold it for 3 years just because you bought a leap option.
That's what's amazing about it. And if you get your timing right, you don't have to hold it for years. You can just sell it in a few months. Boom.
Whenever you want. Yeah.
Super easy. So I'm going to get into a real life example and we'll kind of analyze the option chain in real time. So here's an example of a stock that I've been talking about on the Victory Talk podcast, Energy Transfer. And this is the Morningstar report. If you want to, you can always get your Morningstar reports from the Analyze tab on Thinkorswim by Charles Schwab. You can just download that right here.
And if you have Robinhood Gold, it'll give you a summary of it in there, you know.
Exactly. It's really, really nice. And it's not perfect. It's just one little indicator. Just because a stock is below fair value, it doesn't mean it has to get to fair value. But it's just an idea. So look, Energy Transfer, current price $15.87, fair value estimate $21. Okay, cool. That means I have market.
Tell them what fair value means. They might not know.
You know, it just, they do a bunch of calculations of like price to earnings ratios, all this different like balance sheet stuff. And I'm not saying I'm an expert in it, but basically it's just what the stock is worth on a fair day. Okay. So here's an example of Energy Transfer. Current price is $16.50 and they say $21 is what it's worth. So
and looking at that candlestick formation, it looks like it's about to break out. Am I right?
It looks like it's about to break out. And even if it doesn't, guess what? I can buy a leap call option and not give a fuck.
You got 3 years to be right.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where it gets really, really interesting because now, so here's the technical setup, you know, ascending triangle above the 200-day moving average is a simple one. So it's in an uptrend. Above the 200-week moving average, consistent uptrend. So now we can check the options chain. So I can do this on, you know, here, let me pull this up on Thinkorswim real quick. And I'm going to pull it up on Robinhood just so I can show you guys. But Energy Transfer, look at this. So we can go out to January 15th, 2027. So step one is the expiration date.
Expiration date, when the options expire. Got it.
Yep. When does the option expire? So this is a leap call. Now what I'm looking at is what is the strike price? Okay. I want my option to get in the money so that I can get paid.
Explain them what in the money is, because that's what I was going to be one of my questions. What's in the money options versus out the money? Like, what's the difference?
Yeah. So if the current price is above the strike price, it's in the money. So if I were to buy like the 10 strike call option, that would be in the money. I have the
what's
right.
The strike price? I couldn't see it on the screen. I'm sorry. What's the current price?
The current price is $16.54.
So if you pick a price that's lower or higher, which one is in
lower?
the money?
If I'm buying a call option that's lower than the current price, it's going to be in the money. So maybe it'll be easier to show on Robinhood. So I'm going to pull up ET, Energy Transfer. It's pulling up. And we can go to trade options, ET options.
People shit on Robinhood, but this is what makes it so fucking dope. Is the options chain.
It's so
their option chain. Yeah.
It's got the builder. And look, we just want to buy a leap call because we're like, well, I think ET can get up to that 21. It doesn't even need to, but it can get close. Okay. If I think it can get to 21, I can buy the 17 strike call option. And look, my max profit is unlimited. My max loss is only $120. And guess what? My break even between now and 2027 is $18.20.
So, but if you bought a 21, that's out of the money though, right? That's out of the money.
Slightly out of the money. You could buy in the money right here. Look, now my break even is only $17.11.
The in the money is like twice as much almost.
You know, it depends on the option.
I mean, I'm talking about like right now. Like
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. In the money options are more expensive. Out the money options are cheaper because they're riskier. And in the money options are more expensive because there's less risk.
Exactly. And I could have a whole masterclass on in the money versus out of the money. To keep it short and simple, in the money options, if you buy an in the money call, you're going to make more dollars, but you're going to make a less percentage gain.
Yeah.
It's less risk. Yeah. It's less risk because you have a higher probability of profit because you're in the money. However, there's less potential reward if the stock does shoot up to the moon.
So
but you're still making money.
Show them that in the money option you got right there. Now look, the break even part is closer than the out of money, right? So it only has to go a certain. The break even is 17. Now go show them the out of the money option again.
Yep.
So they can see where it is. See now the break even is like it's got to go further.
Yep.
And you can scroll. You can scroll on that timeline so they can see like how much money. So you can see. You can see how much money you'll make. Depends on and it's really now. What I like to do, this is me, just a little. I got more disposable income, right? So I'm a little, what I'll do is I'll get deep in the money option. So show them like a deep in the money option.
Yeah, so you could, if you wanted to, you could just buy like a $3 strike call. So I have the right to buy ET at $3 a share. That's a great contract because ET is currently at $16.50. Now look
how close your break even is.
Yeah, the break even $17.85. That's probably due to the bid ask spreads.
Yeah.
When you buy an option, there's different amounts of buyers and sellers at each
I might not
price.
pick that one, but it's like for that reason. But it's like it's less risky, but you're going to make less money because you're spending more. So it's going to be less profitable. I mean,
generally, I like to buy leap calls just slightly out of the money.
Right out the money. Yeah.
Bid ask spreads are the tightest. You're not going to pay a lot to get into the trade, and you're not going to pay a lot to get out of it.
Tell them what the bid ask spread is. Let's assume they don't know.
Yeah. So there are buyers and sellers at every moment in time. So the price that you see on a chart, it's not actually the price. It's the difference between the buyers and the sellers. So you can even see after hours right now, the bid on ET is $16.50. The ask on ET is 16.54. That means there are people that have limit orders. They're trying to sell their ET at 16.54. And there are buyers right now after hours that are trying to buy it at 16.50. The mid price is the price that we see. So we'll see 16.52 being shown up, the difference between that. On like super crazy, like expensive stocks. I'm trying to think of one that comes to mind, like BRK / A.
Oh, Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, like look, the bid ask spreads are going to be stupid wide on something like this. You're going to have to pay a lot to get into the trade, pay a lot to get out of the trade. That's why people like to trade SPY options a lot, because you can just get in, get out. It's super easy. So that's why I like to buy at the money contracts on leap calls like this.
And if you're confident in your trade, it's not as risky. It'll be more profitable.
Exactly. Like an example, like Netflix stock tends to have these bigger bid ask spreads. There's not as many buyers and sellers on Netflix. Like even then after hours, there's buyers at 722.20 and there's sellers at 722.50. If you hit like market order, you're doing what's called grabbing liquidity from the market, and you're just going to be down on your trade right as you get in. Yeah. So there are a lot of factors at play.
You can't do market orders after hours, though, right? You can only limit orders.
No, yeah, you can only use limit orders and special after hours orders.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, what we can find out though is that if I think ET is going to if I think ET can go to that $21 per share level and my break even's only $18.20, I've got an opportunity to profit.
Right. And you're risking $120 because you're slightly out the money, but like just show them how much it costs to go deep in the money.
Yeah. So if I just buy at the money, it's only costing 120. But if I like just want to like control a ton of shares, AKA the delta on the option is how many shares you're artificially controlling. So a delta of 0.99 means you're getting 99 shares. It's going to pretty much cost though, a little bit less than the price of ET, but it's going to cost $1,485.
Yeah.
So But the thing is, you're going to get paid a lot better. Your delta.
You still
is
get paid
91.
more than if you bought 100 shares, even though it costs the same.
Yep.
If you're right.
You'll make less percent gain, but you'll make more dollar gain.
Yeah.
So that's something to consider. Do you want to get paid in dollars or percentage points?
The way that was worded, it might confuse people, but I know what you meant. Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll get a better feel for it as you really start to trade and paper trade these leap options.
Mhm.
So that's going to be really important. So again, look, the expected move is pretty low. So that means the options are cheap. They're not pricing in a big range for ET. We've got the technical setup. We've got the fundamental setup. This is a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's an opportunity again. So I'm looking at SoFi. And SoFi has been a stock that I've been talking about in the Victory Talk podcast for a couple of months. And look, they give a fair value estimate of $13 per share. So we can go over to the chart of SoFi and we can see, is there an opportunity? Okay. The current price is $9.87. So SoFi, I'm going to put this drawing set.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, Morningstar gives a fair value all the way up here. 13. So what does that mean? There's a potential opportunity if SoFi can pull back and maybe come to a support area.
That's where you'd be willing to buy. Yeah.
For leap call options. And I can take a look at the option chain. I can see, hey, 2027. Maybe I could buy like the 7 strike call. There's a little bit of margin for profit there. Maybe I can buy an in the money 5 strike call. Boom. Super simple. And that's where you can have that extra opportunity. If I pull up SoFi and I think it's going to go up to $13 a share, this is really cool because now I don't even have to sweat too much about it. And of course, SoFi could drop. We could go through a recession, whatever. But I can buy the 10 strike call and look, my break even is 1380. Maybe these options are a little bit too expensive. Since 13 is the price target.
Yeah, but you were waiting on doing it for getting it for you were waiting for a pullback. This is like real time.
That's true. Exactly. Yeah. So that's where your technical analysis comes in. And if you can get a good deal and time it up just a little bit, that's where your margin of profit gets created. But even then, if you didn't want to even time up the market, you could just be like, I don't care. A break even of 1120 is good enough for me. I'm buying this in the money SoFi leap call. I'll check back in 3 years.
Yeah, you could. Now you don't want to wait till you don't want to let them expire, even if you're in the money at expiration, right?
That depends. So you can actually hold it to expiration if you want to get exercised and you want to own the 100 shares at your strike price. Most of the time, though,
tell them what that means.
Flip the options.
Tell them what that means when you exercise.
Yeah. So when you exercise an option, that's basically saying, hey, we have a contract. You told me I have the right to buy. Let's say I bought the SoFi 6 call. At expiration, if SoFi is above 6 at expiration, I can choose, if I just hold my option through to expiration, I'm going to have 100 shares at 6. So the broker's automatically going to buy 100 shares at 6, and it's going to put $600 into SoFi right there. But guess what? Yeah. The current price might be a lot higher. So you'll be up a shit ton of money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can do that if you want to hold on to the shares.
But it's better than this. I've never exercised the option in my life.
Oh, really? I've exercised some ET call options. Just they're deep in the money. And I was like, I don't mind holding it.
Okay. No, that's what's up.
It's rare though. You most of the time just want to flip the premium, as we say. Yeah. Okay. So when do you want to exit a leap call? So we figured out the entry. We got the technical setup. We got the fundamental value. We've got all the stars aligning. We're in the trade. We're in the investment. When do we want to sell? Well, we want to exit when the asset reaches your price target. In this case, SoFi touching 13, ET touching 21. When the business model has changed. So let's say, something changed and I don't like it anymore. I'm just going to exit. Okay. If you need to cut losses, let's say, hey, I don't think this is a good investment anymore. You can always just exit the leap call. You'll take the L. That's fine. Make sure you do your research and have a good reason as to why you're exiting. I rarely cut losses on leap calls just because I like to just hold them and let it play out. if you need cash, maybe you need to just raise cash. You can always just sell. It's not a big deal. Yeah. When there's what's called an IV spike, so this is getting a little bit more technical. So you can, the best time, in my opinion, to sell leap call options is when you get what's called an implied volatility spike. And that just means the range opened up. So if a stock goes straight up, this is a great time to exit. It still could continue to go higher, but the rate of change matters when it comes to trading options. It's like 4D trading. So if you go straight up, boom, you're going to make a lot more money than if you were to have just bought the stock. A quick example of this would be like on Tesla. When I bought leap call options, I saw that Tesla was going through an implied volatility spike. Tesla, this is where I bought the leap call options. Tesla went straight up. And what happens is those options just get stupidly expensive, and it just pays to just take the profits. That's what I like to do. I'm not saying it's the best way or the most correct way, but it keeps me liquid, meaning I just get to rotate into the next trade, and it's all fine and dandy. So that's a great way to consider exiting. Okay. So another way to exit is if it just gets overbought. If the RSI gets overbought, that's the relative strength index. Super simple way to exit a leap call option on the monthly, on the weekly, you name it. Okay. So we briefly talked about leap calls. Now I briefly want to talk about leap puts. So if you think a stock is going to go bankrupt, like Peloton or something like that, you know, Bed Bath and Beyond. If you think a stock could go bankrupt, it's overvalued or due for a big drop, you can protect even a portfolio by doing this. You could buy a leap put, and that's just the right to sell 100 shares at a certain price. Okay. So your losses are capped. So if you actually short a stock, you can lose unlimitedly. But if you buy a put, you can only lose so much, the amount that you put in. Your gains are capped though on a put. If the stock goes bankrupt, you can't make more than, you know, what is priced in. Really quick, like let's say you think SoFi is going to go bankrupt, you can buy a put, and look, the max profit is only $695, but your max loss is only $305, and that's if SoFi goes to zero. So, you know, you can do. It's pretty flexible. That's what's awesome about this. Okay. Theta decay is still a factor, and you want to do this on shitty stocks or ETFs that are about to be out of rotation or about to get bankrupt. Make sure you don't overpay for the put premium. So an example of this, you know, on the Legion investing channel, I was like, hey, SEDG, I think is going to get destroyed. Let's do some leap puts. And stock dropped a lot. I turned $300 into $700, just like a simple trade. And it also protected my portfolio too. If the overall market drops and a lot of other stocks are dropping, a leap put can be very, very helpful. And then what's cool is when all the stocks drop, you take profits on the leap put. Now you got cash and you can invest it wherever you want. So it's really helpful to just have that skill in your tool belt. Okay.
That's dope. Yeah, no, go get into it, man. Go.
Leap options are flexible. So if you think we're all going to turn into X-Men, you can do leap calls on biotech. If you think oil prices are going to surge in like a hyperinflationary environment, you can buy leap call options on oil, and then you'll make a crap ton of money on that trade, and it'll maybe pay for a few gallons of gas. If you think the stock market's going to crash, you could do leap puts. Boom. Super flexible. Great as a hedge. Think quantum computing is going to take over? You could do leap call options on QuantumScape. You could do leap call options on robotics ETFs. So it's really flexible. So here are some key takeaways. If your investment time horizon is longer than if your investment time horizon is 1 to 3 years, a leap call option is pretty cool. You know, a mix of leap calls and shares can be a good way to have like a balanced portfolio. So I own ET shares. Boom, I collect the 8% dividend, but I've also got those leap call options where if ET takes off, boom, now my portfolio is going to get that extra bump. Okay. Leap calls have theta decay. That's the amount you pay per day to hold on to it. Regular shares or equity investments have no theta decay, and you can hold them forever. So the upside is unlimited if you just have regular shares. Remember, we want to combine technical and fundamental analysis to put the odds in our favor. And you want to make sure you get a good deal. Make sure that your break even is reasonable. And you can check that on Robinhood, options profit calculator, or you can hit me up. Okay. So that's all I had for today's presentation. It was fun.
That's what's up, man. Yo, thank you, Greg. Listen, if y'all want to know more about this, you can check it out. Check it out. Discord is free. We got a lot of information in there about stocks and in general. And also, we also have another. If you want to know about a sell options, we have another video all about the wheel option. Check that out. That'll be in the link somewhere.
Yeah. This isn't everything there is to talk about leap options, but it's just an introduction. Okay. Yo,
what's up with the I think Greg, I think you got a question.
Oh,
yep.
What's up?
Yeah, King Carb is asking, hi Greg, I mentioned I bought a bad leap call on BITO, BITO to sell poor man's cover calls. I need 2480 by January 16, 2026 to break even, down 46%. When do you think I should bail?
Okay, so King Carbs, did you ask about BITO last time?
You did.
I feel like we told you.
We told him to sell
that shit. Yeah.
We told him to sell, King.
Thank you for your super chat. That's cool. Like, we appreciate the donation. What I would say is BITO, you're going to just be down very heavily over time because it pays monthly dividends. When you see these fat ass gap downs on the chart, those are the dividends getting paid out. So you're just always going to have just a downtrend. So you don't want to be buying calls. Notice how we said we want to be investing in leap calls when it's above the 200-day moving average. That's really important. So you need 2480 by January 16th. It sounds like you need Trump to win the election for you, because that's very likely a scenario where Bitcoin's going to go up a lot and you could actually break even. But you're always going to have a downtrend on BITO. It's not the best for buying call options on. Yeah,
you shouldn't have bought a leap on that shit. We told you to exit that shit, man.
We did.
Yeah.
It would have been better to be in BITX even though there's still decay. It's still better to do longer term options on something like that. We also mentioned, like, the miners, like, there's TerraWolf. Boom, there it is, pumping. You got that's 35% in a week. We got Mara. We talked about that. You could do leap calls on that. CLSK, boom. Talked about the wheel for that, 46% in a week. So those are going to appreciate more in value than BITO, because remember, the dividend drops the stock. You get that cash if you actually own the shares, but you don't want to do a poor man's covered call on it, because remember, going back to the leap call presentation, you don't get paid the dividend if you buy a leap call. You're gonna
you picked the wrong security to buy a leap option on, brother.
You're just getting fucked on both sides with that trade.
Damn, Tommy.
So what do you think do I think you should bail? Yes.
Yeah.
Not financial advice. If you want to play BITO, just own the shares. If you want to trade and analyze Bitcoin, you can do like GBTC and BITX. There you go.
All right. Does Greg have another one or not? All right, cool. Listen, thank you, Greg. I appreciate it, man. All right, peace. All right, I think we got some more super chats. Let me answer them before I get into the next thing.
We have King Carbs back with a question. King, you come across as a very stoic individual with a strong sense of direction. I'd love to hear about how you discovered your purpose in life. What motivates you to keep moving forward each day?
When people ask me how to discover your purpose, I don't think it's supposed to be discovered. It's supposed to be created. I think you don't find your purpose, you create it. You get what I'm saying? You got to figure out, you got to go out and find something that you feel like you got to find a way that you can bring value to the world in a way that you enjoy, but you create that. You get what I'm saying? Like, I didn't just love fitness just cause, I got into fitness for a reason, because I needed to accomplish certain goals. But then, as I got better at it, I developed a love for it. And then, what really helped with the real love was actually like I started training other people because they started asking me for advice, and I saw how it changed their personalities, and it changed them. And then I was like, okay, this would be a good purpose for me. But it could be in anything, like straight up. Like the key is you can get good at anything, and you can learn to enjoy anything. Imagine if you were, if you play an instrument. When you learn the song, you want to play that song all the time. When you try to play a song that you don't know, it can be more arduous. You get what I'm saying? So the key is to get good at something. And when you get good at something, you'll start to enjoy it. But you create that. You get what I'm saying? Like you create that. And you can get good at anything, meaning you can enjoy anything. Right? Nobody hates things that they're good at. But you can develop any skill with enough effort and enough hours. It's all reps. You feel me? So that's super important. So you need to find what you're good. You don't have to find what you're good at. You create what you're good at, and you can get good at anything. And then when you start to get good at it, you'll start to love it. I know people who love accounting, but they just got good at it, but they didn't love it. They didn't just have a love for it. They worked hard to develop the skill, and then the love came. It's just like playing an instrument, sport, anything else. That's important.
We have JT Coin Rings. Hello, Brandon and chat.
Yo, what up, JT? We still don't know what my man is pointing at, but he's super excited about it, and I'm excited for him. All right. Guys, I want to show y'all something I discovered the other day. This is not I don't have a segment for this. It's just something I discovered, and I just feel like you guys might feel it's valuable. So everybody's talking about, you know what? Habits of a winner. We all know that AI is changing the world. It's changing the game. And you can use it to learn things. You can use it to get information. But what people don't understand, it can also make learning fun, right? So I want to show you this new way I've been using artificial intelligence to learn new things, but in a fun and exciting way, right? So what you want to do is you want to get the ChatGPT app, pay for the premium shit, right? And you can talk to this motherfucker. So check this out. Explain to me how recessions start.
Recessions usually start due to a combination of factors that disrupt economic growth. One key trigger can be a decline in consumer confidence, leading people to spend less. This reduction in spending causes businesses to earn less, which can lead to layoffs and further decreases in spending. Additionally, high interest rates can make borrowing more expensive, dampening investment and spending. External shocks, like a sudden spike in oil prices or a financial crisis, can also play a role. All these factors together can create a downward economic spiral, leading to a recession.
All right, so that's one thing. So she just broke this shit down to you. But let's say you didn't really fully understand. So what you can do is do this. I unmute it. Explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Okay, imagine you have a big box of toys. One day, you don't feel like playing with your toys anymore, so you stop. Then your friends see you not playing, and they stop playing too. The toy store nearby notices that no one's buying toys anymore, so they make fewer toys. This makes the toy makers sad because they're not selling as many toys. When everyone stops playing, it makes the whole toy world slow down and get a little sad. And that's kind of like a recession.
So you can have her explain something and have her explain it like a 5-year-old. My chat, you can change the voice on ChatGPT. I got a white woman, right? But you can change the voice. Let me show you how. Explain it to me in the voice of DMX.
Picture this, little one. You're in a grand arena of toys. One day, the players lose their fighting spirit.
She must have not have heard me
Games
say
come
right.
to a halt. The silence echoes through
That-
the arena.
Pretend
and
that didn't
soon
happen.
The spectators, seeing no battle, turn away. The craftsmen who forge the weapons and armor find their wares untouched
Bitch
and
is
their
tripping. Hold
fires
up.
dim. This, my young warrior, is how the spirit of the arena fades, plunging all into a deep slumber. That is the way of the recession.
Explain it to me in the voice of the rapper DMX.
Hey, yo, listen up. Imagine the economy's a big party, right? Everybody's dancing, having a good time. Then the DJ drops a bad track and people start leaving the floor. The vibe goes down and folks start buying drinks. The bartender ain't selling. The party planners ain't happy. That's how a recession hits, dog. The whole place starts slowing down because the groove ain't right no more. You feel me?
See, it makes learning fun. Check this out. Explain it to me in the voice of Black Panther.
My friend, envision our economy as the mighty kingdom of Wakanda, thriving and prosperous. One day, the flow of vibranium, the lifeblood of our nation, begins to wane. Our people, sensing this, reduce their endeavors, their innovation slow, and the marketplace falls quiet. The artisans and merchants, the heartbeat of our land, find their work diminished. This is the essence of a recession. The great Wakanda pausing, its strength temporarily subdued.
You see what I'm saying? It makes learning fun. Let's do it again. Explain it to me in the voice of an old Southern Black woman.
Well, sugar, picture this. Our economy is like a big old family gathering. Everyone's laughing, eating, and sharing stories. Then suddenly, the food starts running low.
Yeah.
Folks see this and stop eating so much, trying to save some for later. But when they do, the whole mood of the party changes. The cooking slows down, the laughing quiets, and the whole get-together loses its sparkle. That's what a recession is, darling. A time when the good times pause and we all gotta hold on a little tighter.
You see, it makes learning fun. You can learn whatever you want, and we can do it in a fun way. Wait, check this out. Explain it to me in the voice of Sofia Vergara.
Okay, picture the economy like a big fiesta with everyone dancing and having a great time. But then the music starts to slow down.
Yeah.
People get tired and they stop dancing. They don't buy as many drinks or food, and the party starts to fizzle out. The people who make the food and the drinks, they don't sell as much, and they start to worry.
Yeah.
That's like a recession, when the economy slows down and everyone has to wait for the music to pick up again. Ay, ay, ay. What a party pooper.
See, you can learn anything. You want to learn something? Have ChatGPT explain it to you like a celebrity. First, so here's the prompt. Ask ChatGPT to explain some shit to you. Then tell it to explain it like a 5-year-old, right? Simple terms. Then have it to your favorite characters or historical figures. Explain it to me in the voice of Chris Rock.
All right. Imagine the economy is like a comedy show, right? Everybody's laughing, having a good time. Then the comedian tells a bad joke. The audience gets quiet, real quiet. They stop buying drinks, the vibe goes down, and the whole place starts to bomb. The bartenders, the wait staff, they're all suffering because nobody's having fun anymore. That's a recession for you. When the jokes don't land and everybody's left wondering why they even showed up.
You don't know Chris. Explain it to me in the voice of Donald Trump.
Let me tell you, okay? Our economy is like a tremendous business. The best business. Everybody's making deals. Things are booming. But then some bad decisions are made, very bad, and suddenly people aren't spending. The deals slow down, businesses start to struggle, and it's a total disaster. That's a recession, folks. But don't worry, we can make the economy great again. Believe me.
Like a Cuban Donald Trump. Let's lean into that a little bit more. Explain it to me like a Cuban version of Donald Trump.
Mira, chico, the economy, it's like a big Cuban business. ¿Me entiende? Everybody's trading, doing deals, making money. But then somebody makes a wrong move, a very bad decision, and people stop spending their pesos.
Yeah.
The deals get slow, the businesses struggle, and it's a tremendo problema. That's a recession, mi hermano. But tranquilo, we can fix it. We make it better again, like a good cafecito in the morning. ¿Verdad?
Explain it to me in the voice of Andrew Tate.
Listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. The economy, it's like a high-stakes poker game. When everyone's confident, the bets are high and the game is intense.
Yeah.
But when players start doubting, they pull back, fold, and the game slows down. The weak players get knocked out, and only the strong survive. That's a recession, mate. You either play it smart, adapt, and dominate, or you get wiped out.
Yeah.
There's no room for the weak. Stay strong, stay ahead, or get left behind.
Yeah. Thanks, Andrew. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you can use, this is one method to use ChatGPT to learn things, but you can learn it in a fun way. We can do this with other things, you know, like for example, I'll try one more example. Explain inflation to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
All right, imagine you have a basket of your favorite candies. One day, you notice you're getting fewer candies for the same amount of money. That's like inflation. It means your money doesn't buy as much as it used to. So when there's inflation, it's like needing more money to get the same amount of candy.
Explain it to me in the voice of Jackie Chan.
Okay, imagine you're in a big fight scene and the price of everything around you is going up, up, up. That's inflation. You have to use more and more money to get the same things you used to. So, like in my movies, you have to be quick and smart to handle it.
Handle it. Explain it to me in the voice of Batman.
Inflation is like a villain creeping through Gotham, making everything more expensive. Your money doesn't stretch as far, making it harder to fight the forces of economic evil. But with the right tools and a sharp mind, we can overcome it and bring balance back to the city.
This is really going to hurt my ego if she doesn't do it. Explain it in the voice of popular YouTuber Brandon Carter.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy, Brandon Carter, and today we're talking inflation. Think of it like this. You got your stack of cash, right? But suddenly, that cash ain't buying as much as it used to. That's inflation, man. Prices going up, value of your money going down. But don't worry, we stay grinding, we stay hustling, and we overcome that struggle. Let's get it.
Sounds about right. It sounds about right. You listen. So if everyone advice from me, just say what would Brandon Carter do? You can use this. Okay, let's try it again. Let's see how accurate this hoe is. All right. Have Brandon Carter, the famous YouTuber, explain to me what I should do if my girlfriend cheats on me.
Brandon Carter, known for his direct and no-nonsense approach, would likely advise focusing on self-improvement and moving on. He might say something like, if she cheats, it's her loss. You deserve someone who values and respects you.
Yeah, I'd say
Hit the gym, work on your goals, and become the best version of yourself. Remember, success is the best revenge. It's all about taking control of your own life and not letting someone else's actions define your worth.
That's pretty spot on. That's pretty spot on. Read that to me as if Brandon Carter was actually saying it to me. Give me more encouragement.
Imagine Brandon Carter saying, bro, if she cheats, that's on her. You're a high value. Got it. Picture
What?
Brandon Carter saying, bro, if she cheats, that's on her. You're a high value man, and you deserve someone who recognizes that. Use this as fuel to level up.
Yeah.
Hit the gym, crush your goals, and show the world what they're missing. Remember, kings don't chase, they replace.
I never said that, but I'm gonna start saying that. ChatGPT just out Brandon Carter. That's exactly what I would have said, but better. This bitch better at being me than being me. Read it to me in the voice of Forrest Gump.
I'm sorry, but I can't imitate Forrest Gump. But I can say in a friendly way that if someone cheats, it's their loss. You're worth being treated with respect and loyalty.
She was just imitate. So that's the thing. Sometimes this bitch will tell you she can't imitate people after she's imitated people for fucking an hour. She just imitated me. But it's whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is how you can use ChatGPT, man. I this is what I recommend. So if you wanted to explain something to you, if you want to learn something, have her explain it to you in the voice of someone you admire. Whether it's Batman, Andrew Tate, Brandon Carter, whoever your heroes are. But yo, use ChatGPT to ask. We just found out. Oh, hold on. We just found out that you can use ChatGPT to get advice from your favorite celebrities.
I understand you're looking for a Forrest Gump style response, but I can't do voice impressions.
Shut up. Hold on. So let's explain the difference between macro and microeconomics in the voice of Walter from Fresh and Fit podcast.
All right, let's break it down. In the world of economics, you got two main players, macroeconomics and microeconomics. Now, macro, that's the big picture. We're talking national and global economies, GDP, unemployment rates. It's like the 10,000 foot
Oh, that's my alarm.
view of how economies operate. Microeconomics, on the flip side, zooms in. It looks at individual actors, people, businesses, industries. How do they make decisions? What affects their choices? It's like getting down to street level to see what's really going on in the economy. Both are crucial, but they tackle the game from different angles. Keep that in mind, and you'll be ahead of the curve.
Explain it to me in the voice of rapper Ludacris.
All right, listen up. Macroeconomics is the big dog, dealing with whole economies. Think of it as the grand hustle, covering GDP, unemployment, and inflation across the nation. It's like watching the whole rap game from the top. Now, microeconomics, that's the street view, baby. It breaks it down to individual players, people, businesses, and industries, how they make choices, how they stack in their paper, and what they spend. It's all about the grind from the ground up. Both are crucial in the game of economics, just like beats and rhymes. Keep it smooth, and you'll be rolling like a boss.
Explain it to me in the voice of comedian Theo Von.
All right, check it out. Macroeconomics is like when you're looking at the whole forest, right? You got all these trees, and you're trying to figure out how they all grow together.
Yeah.
It's big stuff. National economies, unemployment, inflation. It's like, how's the whole gang doing? Now, macroeconomics, that's like zooming in on one of them trees. You want to know why this one's growing sideways, or how come that one ain't growing at all? It's the little details, like people and businesses making decisions. It's like, why is cousin Jimmy spending all his money on crypto instead of paying his electric bill?
Jimmy.
So you got the big forest and the little tree, both telling you something about the world of economics, man. It's wild.
Yeah. So here's the thing. You can learn something. You can learn stuff from ChatGPT in the voice of your favorite celebrity or historical figure, or you can ask it for advice in the voice of your favorite YouTuber, Brandon Carter. Anytime you want some advice and you can't get to me, I'm not there for you. ChatGPT really gave you some spot on advice, man. If I was you, I'd run all your questions, all your life questions, anything you worry about. Just ask ChatGPT, what would Brandon Carter do? And it sounds like she's going to give you some pretty accurate advice. All right. But if you want advice right from Brandon Carter, I got a free ebook on how to start your online fitness business. The link is in the description. Go ahead and download that now. All right. Cool. Are there any more super chats? Mm-hmm.
Yes, we have that fork with just 3 books.
All right. And you got a picture of the sink, of a jail sink up in here. You know, a prison sink. All right. I feel you.
And then we have
that's a water fountain.
Mohammed. Oh, what you said?
Yeah, that might just be a water fountain. Okay.
It looks
Either
like
one
a
is
school
cool.
water fountain.
That might be a school water fountain. Yeah.
And then we have Mohammed that says, tap top right to change voice to a dude.
Nah, I like to keep it. I like listening to this white lady imitate different people's voices. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't talking to no dude, man. I ain't on no Diddy shit, man. No, I'm just joking. I'm fucking around. All right. Yeah, we done, man. All right, y'all. This has been another episode of that Victory Talk podcast. We do this every Tuesday and Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll let y'all. Peace.